Good morning. I'm Steve Smith. I am the newest board member representing the Eastern Midwest, servicing 6 teams in that area. I was just selected 3 weeks ago. And my topic for this morning is, what does the International Office do for us? I am Steve Smith. I am the widower and the father of 3 grown sons. I was happily married for 34 years to Kathleen, and she was taken to me until she was taken from me in 3 short days, 5 years ago. Kathleen was my partner, my lover, my soulmate, my life giver, and she gave life so naturally and so easily. She taught me about unconditional love. So there I was, broken and lost, adrift like a small boat in a great big ocean, without an oar. Our plans were all gone. Through BE, God found a way for me to heal while He made use of the broken glass that was my life at that point, truly broken. Later, I became team president of Pittsburgh. And as such, I was handed a $2,000 deficit. And now you see why this question is pertinent to me, because the first question I ask is, why do I have to pay international? Because I've got to balance this budget. God has a way of turning the tables on me. And why does International Office have to operate with paid staff? Well, I had been involved in volunteer ministries, lay ministries, for 32 years before Kathy's death. They were Marriage Encounter for 5 years and Engaged Encounter for 27. None of these groups had paid staff. They all ran by volunteer boards and volunteers. So I set out to answer that question, and I want to share that with you. BE is indeed different. There are a lot of good reasons that I have learned why we need those folks. The first one is that BE team members begin serving at very low points in their lives. Their self-confidence may be rattled. Anger is usually present. Their personal skills are dulled or depressed. Number 2, our process moves people through it in 2 to 5 years as they become healed. When they graduate, as they must and should, knowledge and experience leaves. So we have a steady flow of new people into our teams and knowledge out the other side. And from personal experience, having run all of these weekends, BE weekend is indeed harder to run than either ME or EE. There are more moving parts. And we have to try to create intimacy among 5 or 6 strangers in each small group. That's really a pretty mammoth task. The other groups already have an emotional unit formed in the couples that come on the weekends. They do not have to create those emotional bonds. Another reason is that those groups have people stay involved for 10 or 20 years. As long as you are living a sacramental marriage, you may be involved with those groups. But in BE, there is less time for our team members to learn leadership and team roles. And so that gives us the challenge of always having to rebuild and rebond our ever-changing teams. That's a lot. So to summarize, the other volunteer groups, lay ministries, they have less leadership needs, long-term volunteers, and more time to learn what it takes to do the next step. BE does not. We have to recruit broken people, help them heal, train them quickly before our lives and theirs move on in different directions. So I have gone from being a cynic to understanding that our international office is indeed our center, our linchpin. These folks play a crucial, vital role. Let me talk about some of those things. First, they're our reservoir of knowledge, very important. Second, they provide the tools that we use to learn how to do these weekends and how to do them right. They protect our material and our copyrights. Both of the groups I mentioned have problems with people stealing their material and using it for commercial purposes. And the international office provides consistency across all of our groups in all of the areas and on the weekends so that we do not have to become little cells on our own. They're always there to provide advice and help when troubles and conflict erupt within our team. I myself would not be where I stand tonight if Kathleen had not helped to resolve a conflict within our team after my first weekend as team. I was ready to leave. The international office helps us interface with big church. They provide credibility for us. They help us deal with inevitable team turnovers, start new teams and close old teams. That's our life cycle. Teams don't last forever. They share good information, good ideas, best practices. They're in the middle. They organize conventions and trainings. Of course, they handle our supplies that we need. They prepare new training materials. Perhaps most importantly, they're our communication hub. It's that website, it's that person that answers the telephone that connects us all together and brings our participants into us. I have used most of these services in the last 3 years. I found out how valuable they are. And I just want to thank Kathleen and Betty and Nancy for being there for us and me personally. I urge all of you to utilize them more. Thank you.